All right, welcome. This is Brandon Allen from New Work Revolution Coaching and Training. And today I want to talk with you about 3 things that you absolutely must commit to in order to create a high-level experience for the people that you do business with in your business. And this kind of comes from the fact that when we look at customer experience, a lot of times we talk about being nice, talking friendly, shaking hands, creating a pleasing aesthetic, but sometimes we forget about the backstage things that happen. And so when we look at a business, we've got the front stage, that's the actors and what people can see, but we've also got the backstage and what people can't see. So as I'm talking about this, a lot of these things are backstage type activities. And the first one is really ruthlessly committing to being intentional. And when I talk about intentional, I'm talking about just really wanting to create the kind of experience that we want to create and being intentional in everything that we do. That means processes, that means planning, that means training your team. All these things have to happen in order to do that. It also means speaking the high-level vision and being clear about who it is that we serve and where we want to take this particular person. And a lot of times when I talk to a business owner, their reaction to this process is, Brandon, this is hard. And my response to that is it's absolutely hard. However, it's absolutely critical because we can do things one of 2 ways. We can do them hard easy or easy hard. Hard easy is, look, I'm going to do the work that it takes today so that my life is easier tomorrow. Or I can take the easy route today, but when we take the easy route today, it always makes our life harder tomorrow. Now, a great example of that, and it's a really obvious one, is fitness. Okay, we can eat right, we can work out, and that's hard today. Because if you haven't done it for a while, you're going to be sore. If you're used to eating junk and you kind of wean yourself off of that, you're going to go through withdrawals. But down the road, you're going to be healthier. It's going to be a lot easier process for you and your health in the future. The easy hard way is, look, I'm going to do what I want today. I'm going to lay on the couch. I'm going to eat as many cheeseburgers as I possibly can and drink as many Cokes as I can, and I'm good. But later, when health problems start to arise or you don't have energy and all these things to do the things that you want to do, your life becomes much harder. So having intention when it comes to designing your experience and a high-level experience is absolutely critical. The second thing that you absolutely must commit to in order to deliver a high-level experience is communication. And this is an area where I feel like business owners and leaders suffer from the curse of knowledge. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you. It probably hasn't, but I know it's happened to other people where they've communicated something to someone, or rather than not even communicate, they've observed their employees doing something where they're like, why is this employee even doing that? Like, that's so stupidly obvious that they shouldn't do something that way that I can't even believe that they're doing it. And if you've been a business owner or a leader for any period of time, you've probably unfortunately had that experience where an employee's been doing something and you're just like, why are they even doing that? And then we just assume, it's because we've assumed that they know what we know. They assume that we know their intentions, that they know, what it is that we want to do it in the way that we would do it. And so we get frustrated when people don't do things the exact way that we want to do it. We just kind of assume that everyone knows what we want. But here's the thing with the curse of knowledge. It doesn't just lend itself to employees, it also lends itself to our customers. There's a lot of things about our business that we assume other people know that have no idea how things work. For instance, there may be someone who, says, hey, I want to work with you, but how do we get started? Or, hey, I want to do this, but I'm not really sure how to do it. And we just assume that people know how things work or how we're going to do it. So we've got to be intentional about walking people through that, and communication is important. The third and final area to really committing to that high-level experience is what I call alignment. And alignment is all about this. At the top, you've got your mission, vision, and values, basically the big picture. In the middle, you've got the objectives that you're trying to achieve as a business. And right below that, you've got the work that gets done in the business on a day-to-day basis. Now, here's the dilemma that we face as business owners and leaders today. Only 19% of the workforce is engaged. How do I know that that's true? I read it on the internet, so of course that is a real stat. But in all seriousness, I've seen this stat many times from different companies. And so think about this, only 1 in 5 of your employees right now is actively engaged in work that actually serves the goals of your company. Now, whose fault is this? A lot of it has to do with the leaders. We're not engaging people by really communicating the big picture, which is the point I brought from before. but we want to align people with the big picture vision and the objectives that we're doing. And so we want their work to be meaningful. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure that this has happened to you at some point in time as a business owner or as a leader, where you've looked at your team doing something and you've wondered why the heck they're doing what they're doing in that moment. You just look at them and you're like, why are they doing that? That's like the least important thing that they could do right now. And there's like 5 other things that are like high priority and they're not doing it. Why aren't they doing it? That's an employee that's not engaged. That's an employee that's not connected to the big picture of what the business is trying to accomplish. So that's someone that we got to go back to and really communicate what it is that we want. So I always say this, look, in the absence of clear-cut objectives, your employees will default to the things that come easiest to them to do. Now, it's not because your team is lazy. It's not because they want to do a bad job. It's because they don't know what it is that they're supposed to do at the highest level, and that's a leadership issue, and that starts with us. So if you have employees that are constantly engaged in work that's meaningless, like email, filing, putting away supplies, all those things need to get done at some point in time, but they're not the essential element. So how do I connect the team with the work that is most essential? And that's what our job is as a leader, and that's what alignment looks like. So think about the experience that you're trying to create, and how can you really shore up the backstage? How can you be more intentional about what it is that you're trying to create? How can you be better as a communicator to really speak into existence what you want to see happen? And number 3, how do you align people with those things that you talk about and need done so that it shows up in their day-to-day work? How can you be that as a leader? Look at those things and start putting those things into place today.